picture only once in a year. That's exactly when the sun rays touch the rock at a certain angle. This is what vision is all about. Vision is creating something so beautiful, imagining something so great that when it is achieved, it really brings a life to itself. Now, let's talk about a small story. This story is actually very inspiring. It may sound a bit childish to talk about stories at this point of time right now, but this story actually makes sense when you look at it in a frame of mind where you actually want some inspiration. This is a story about a few tiny frogs. These frogs actually once upon a time decided on a running competition. There's a bunch of tiny frogs who want to go on a competition to reach the top of a very high tower. Now what happens is basically there are these frogs around them who gather around in a big crowd and basically start cheering these contestants. Of course, you always have people to cheer you. That will certainly be a constant right through your life. Slowly the race began. Actually, if you look at it, everyone in the crowd who was cheering these people, none of them really believed that any of the tiny frogs is going to make it to the top. Now, wow, it's too difficult. It's way too difficult. They'll never make it to the top. That's the kind of thing that we were getting to hear. Also, they kept saying, hey, not a chance that they will succeed. The tower is really too high. The tiny frogs, because of this kind of cheering, or maybe anti-cheering as we might say, started to collapse. One by one, slowly, everyone started giving up. However, a few of them reached some heights and gained fresh tempo. They started trying to climb higher and higher. However, even when these small tiny frogs were climbing higher and higher, the crowd continued to yell that it's too difficult to reach right at the top. No one will really make it. They might reach some heights, but not right at the top. And then, a lot of tiny frogs who were actually going up the ladder also fell down and gave up. But one of them continued. He kept trying to reach higher and higher. Well, this frog just wouldn't give up. Everyone in the crowd was amazed as to why doesn't this frog give up? Everyone had decided that this fellow is surely not going to reach the top. Everyone else had failed. Why really should this frog succeed? But then, there came the big leap. After this big leap, this frog reached right at the top. And believe me, the crowd was amazed. What happened was really amusing. The frogs that were actually cheering them, anti-cheering them initially, saying that no one can really reach the top or something like that, finally came to the point where they said that, hey, look at that fellow, he reached that point. And then all the other tiny frogs gathered around this little tiny frog who had reached right at the top and asked him, how really did you manage to make it? The tiny frog really didn't reply. Once again when asked, how did you make it? The frog turned out to be deaf. What happened was, the frog decided that the crowd was cheering him to reach right at the top. He really didn't realize what the crowd was saying all the time. And then, because of the fact that he felt that everyone was cheering him all the time and that he was deaf, he reached right at the top without any problems. And what happened is, finally, we get to the wisdom of this story. The wisdom of this story is basically, never really listen to people's tendencies to be negative or pessimistic. People around you are always afraid of difficulties. People are afraid of failures, and this will happen right through your life and right through your JEE preparation. Because these negative and pessimities take away the most wonderful dreams and wishes that you have. What we want here to emphasize is that keep these visions, keep these wishes, keep these dreams alive in your life. Don't listen to people who are giving you negativities in life. It's really important to believe in the power of your words. What you read, what you hear, what you think is going to affect your actions. It will reflect in your results. Hence, always be positive in life. It's extremely important, more than anything, to believe that you can do it in life. And above all, be deaf when people tell you that you will not really fulfill your wishes. Because, hey, they are just the crowd cheering you. They're not really the people who are going out there and doing what you are doing. So only you have the chance to believe whether you can make it or you cannot. And you certainly can. And if you can, please pass on the story to 5 tiny frogs around yourself and give them some motivation too. It's really important to believe in the power that the words have. What you hear and what you read is going to have a lot of will have a lot of effect on the actions that you have. And these actions will finally result in your results. This is what words are all about. This is what your language is all about. And hence, always be positive in life. And above all, believe that you can do it. Be deaf when people tell you that you will not be able to achieve or fulfill your dreams. Why? Because they are the ones who are just cheering you. Hey, they are not the ones who are doing what you are. And hence, you are the only person who will be able to decide whether you can make it or not. And I am here to tell you that you can do this. And believe that you can do this. And now, if you can, please pass on this message to 5 tiny frogs around yourself and give them some motivation too. Well, it always helps to have a few more winners. What we are